Zzz, zzz, zzz. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Last Epoch dev stream. And I'm your host, Abid. Zzz, 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 zzz. Just kidding, it's me, Mike. Hello. And I couldn't find a bee costume for Halloween this year, so I went with a ladybug. It's close, right? It's close, yeah, all right. It's good, it's perfect. Hello. Totally normal stream. Yep. Definitely did not start looking for this like 2 hours ago or anything. Hey, how's it going? Totally, yep. Let's play some Last Epoch. I'm a very serious developer man who works on this game. Yep. I've got my magic wand as well. And the real sacrifice here is the glitter. Because what you may not be able to see, I'm now covered in glitter. My office is now covered in glitter. It's a good thing this keyboard's mechanical so I can wash it properly. Yeah, we're still playing our Lich, leveling our Lich up. We were just trying to finish off some of these, get our passives finished up. Any pending, let's just hop on the monolith. Yeah, let's do 70. New ladybug minion coming. Boy, I sure hope so. Is this how it started last time? And I promise that I'm not wearing a dog ladybug costume on my head as a hat. I promise that is not what's happening here. At all. At least that's what I'm telling myself. Okay, so if you have any questions about Last Epoch, I'll be happy to answer them. Drop at Last Epoch Game in the chat, and I'll know you're looking for an answer. Also, we stream for charity here. Boom, you can see it above my head. That's the charity. All the everything goes there because they're awesome. And our goal this stream is a new weapon. Because our weapon's hurting. And we know it. So we need a new one. We're gonna find one. So in case anyone's wondering, this is in honor of Halloween quickly approaching. It feels pretty obvious. But just in case. I'm also getting over a bit of a cold right now, so if I sound a little raspy or about halfway through I start coughing, that's what's going on. Alright, start with some questions. As someone who loves LE, looking at numbers recently makes me nervous. Do we have anything to worry about yet? No. Nope. The, I don't know, like the term is runway, the term is run, like, we're fine. There's no concerns to be had. We're a very lean studio. You know, no office space. Our corporate structure is tiny. You know, it's if I'm not worried, you don't need to be worried. And I'll start worrying way before it's necessary. Is Halloween big over in Europe? I have no idea if Halloween's big over in Europe. I am in North America. It's pretty big here. It was the like The straps for these wings, I know I say this every time I do this, the straps for these wings are just cutting into my arms. Oof. I love the mobility this build has. I just gotta get a better weapon. That's the key thing. I really gotta get a better weapon. No, those are just terrible for me. Come on. Find something to hit so I don't just pop out of form. Yes, wonderful. Hi, Mike. Hello. Glad to have you with us. Weekly reminder for the Traveler class. This was the suggestion someone had, like a classless class, like an unclass almost. Right? Should have been a beautiful butterfly. Yeah, with an hour before stream, you're going to a dollar store. There's not a lot of options. What is this ZDPS build? What will happen first? My subathon ends or LE season 2 will drop. I mean, you're at what, 40 days now? You could just go all the way. It'll be like, Last Epoch season 12 drops. I'm still streaming. That's what I'm picturing. Idols, nope. Experimental. So this is, nope. It's just Chatterbait.
Yes.
Ooh. Give me those.
Take care.
See, how's our cash? That was pretty good. We are short on glyphs. We're still new. 36. Woo. So I realize my camera is on. Oh my god! No way! Really? Quick! Yes. Are you excited about PoE 2? Very much excited about PoE 2. I got to play it at Gamescom, 14 months ago, and yeah. I've been very excited ever since. It's a big boy. Oh, you know what? Let's go over here first. Overshot. Ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's a huge downgrade by the numbers. We'll do a proper check here in a second. Just gets me killed. Woof. Yeah, that was not the one I thought it was, actually. So we're not going to use it. Where's your controller? I'm sorry, I didn't prepare it. I know I said I would. I got sidetracked getting a costume. We can try it. Let's see what happens. Control's been plugged in. Usually if I don't start it with the controller open, like start the game with the controller open with this controller for whatever reason, my other controller will detect live. I've routed it through so many like different things to make it work with like a bunch of really old school games. But it's just not happy. I will do my best to get it for next time. I apologize. This build is like probably one of the best ones to use it for too. Except for maybe Warpath. Alright, is there any plans to make classes that are less played more relevant? I feel like marksman, detonating arrow with shurikens has been meta for the last 3 years for marksman. Would love to see a shake-up. Yeah, there's definitely been some other things that have come and gone from marksman in that time. But yeah, there's definitely a very substantial amount of balance changes that'll be coming in 1.2. Yeah. And that happens whenever there's like new content, new abilities, new equipment, new other things. Can I say that? No, I can't say that. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that. There's new stuff coming from Marksman. Actually, I had to develop some new tech recently for one of the things coming from Marksman. Leak it, Mike? Nah. Oh my goodness. I need culling so bad. I need damage so bad. Keep. This little guy is gonna vanish. Kind of want something else though. I don't know why, but this reminds me of, there's a magic card this reminds me of that I really like. Terrible card. And I'm struggling from that. Oh, in honor of, here we go. Right? Gotta be the way. One of my favorite types of gameplay in any ARPG is to use dots. Most of the time, however, it feels very slow compared to crit builds and usually underperforms. What are the team's thoughts on this and how do you balance it? I mean, the same way we balance every other build. I don't think dots are necessarily inherently worse than crits overall. There's definitely situations where they shine big time. But yeah, crit is pretty popular right now in general. I don't know. We look at underperforming and overperforming things and we adjust them to become more performing. I don't know how to, sorry. Interesting ring. We've got a raid. Vapor Vader. Welcome everyone from that chat too. Glad to have you on board. Hang out. Chill out. Relax. Do you like Abroth being killed quickly, or would you rather be more of a challenge for builds? Some builds destroy quickly. I mean, there's a couple really dramatic outliers that are exploiting mistakes in the balance that are causing it to happen way faster than it should, which is like, okay, great. But I think the vast majority of builds are sitting in a pretty good spot with like heavily geared characters being able to kill it relatively quickly overall, but not I don't think in a excessive speed for the most part. whenever you get those like setup builds where it's like, okay, I'm gonna stack these buffs beforehand, and like, okay, boss pops and oh, boss dies like really quickly just because there's a combination of things that line up in a certain way that cause damage to go ballistic. You know, things like that are like, they're gonna happen every once in a while. They're not ideal, and we try and avoid them and all that sort of stuff. But I don't think it's like the end of the world if it happens on extreme outliers. Obviously we'll like fix it. We made a mistake. Yeah. Obviously, I should say obviously. Any teasers for Lich updates? Nothing specific I can share. It is, I think it's a class we are looking at, especially after we stole Soul Feast from it. There's kind of a hole right there. It's actually more of a hole right here.
Impossible.
But yeah, I think this room, I think it's also reflected in some of the requests we've been getting lately for for a few things, yeah. You mentioned many times that you know what you want to do with set items. Can you say anything about what this might, when this might happen, which cycle, or any time frame? All I can say is it won't happen in 1.2. That's all I can say. So it'll be sometime post 1.2. It's a tricky thing because it hits a lot of systems all at once, and so it's a tough thing to like work in at the right moment. I know it sounds like it should be just easy to do, but it's a little more involved, and so it's kind of got some things that have to go with it, and kind of tricky to find time for it. So we're still working on the right way to do it. In the meantime, sets take up a pretty tiny percentage of the overall item count, especially since we've basically stopped making set items while we wait, and we've been making a ton more unique items, and you know, we added in experimental items in the meantime, and we added in personal items in the meantime. We've you know, there's a lot of things we've added since then to beef up the item pool that makes the percentage of items that are like set items even less. Any chance for you to include 3D artwork for unique armor pieces, like unique weapons right now would be really nice. I mean, we're working on the ones that are most impactful first, and the ones that have the best rate of return first. So weapons, you can do a weapon once, and it's done for all classes. So every time you do an armor piece, if it's only an armor piece for one class, you only have to do it once. But then it only works for 1 in 5 characters can even possibly equip it. The ones that then work for all classes, you have to do 5 times. So it's 5 times as much work. So it's still just like every time you do it, it's 1/5 of the work, and it's less work to do variants on a theme, but it still is, you know, it's a lot more work to do armor pieces than it is to do weapons. So we're doing the weapons and the things that need less variation first. If that makes any sense. Just because we can do them faster and they're more impactful. But yeah, we're constantly expanding what's available in that category. There's not many right now. There's a couple. Okay, come on. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, man. Can you share a bit of the procedures you are using when developing skill trees for passives and skills? Sure, like I guess there's two things. There's this is what I would call passives, and this is what I would call skill trees. I've gone pretty deep on this before, but yeah, I can take a little detour for it. A lot of crit there. Let's shatter that. Okay, so the first thing we generally do, like let's talk. I can give you like a rough idea on how skills have their trees developed quickly. The first thing that kind of happens is we make sure that there's the base skill gets created. It gets set. Am I okay to lose a bet or something? No, this is entirely voluntary, believe it or not. It's Halloween coming up. This is the last stream before Halloween. The skill tree process goes. I actually forgot I was wearing this until you just said that. Ooh. The skill tree process. We start with the base skill, make sure it's like fun, interesting. There's like it looks good, it feels good, it's responsive, it does what it needs to do. And then we go into a brainstorming situation where it's like the no bad answers trope. Ridiculous stuff gets put in there. It's a gigantic list. Everyone's welcome from the team. Just like put whatever they want in, and then we go through and we'll do a small team of just like gutting the ones that are just like impossible. Where someone's like, make serpent strike not need a spear anymore, and we're like, that's impossible. We just can't do it. And people are like, but that's sounds so easy. And we're like, yeah, but it just doesn't work. And so we just no, and it gets cut. You know, things like that. We're just like, it just doesn't work that way. And then we go to we do sort of a medium team where people can like defend their ideas if there's things that they really want to get in. Promote their ideas might be a better way of putting it. And we'll do a design meeting where we go through the tree and we pick out ones that we really like, and then we'll have a list of about 30 or so nodes that we really like, maybe 35 nodes that we really like. And we'll put those into a we use Google Draw, something like that, like something to lay out the nodes where you can move them around and everything. And oh my god, it's itchy. And we'll sort of like lay out a skeleton, start just picking things like how many points each node should have, stuff like that. Try and get some rough ranges. That process is usually done by like one person, maybe even two. And then we go over what's there in a larger design meeting, skills team, probably like 6 or 7 people, and we'll go through each node and talk about like requirements and try and pick out details of like, oh, this is too strong, this is too weak, no one will ever take that, things like that. And then we go to implementation, and someone takes that tree and puts it into the game engine, and someone else takes that tree and goes and puts it into the UI. And then we start testing. The short version. All right. Passives are a little less all at once, just because like everyone has them already. Like everyone's got a full passive tree. So like sometimes if we're like overhauling a passive tree, we'll come in and say like, okay, what things is this? What tools have we developed in the game to use since this tree was last majorly overhauled? Like putting in threshold nodes. Where's a good threshold node? Are there any threshold nodes here? Does Lich need a bunch of threshold nodes? Lich needs threshold nodes. Here's a great example. So we would come in here and we would say, hey, Lich needs threshold nodes, and we'll like start to see like, hey, where can we like put threshold nodes in Lich nicely? I seem to remember doing this already. Weird. And like figure out if there's new abilities that have shown up since then that need more synergies. And this is sometimes where we'll look at underperforming archetypes for the class, and try and pepper in some new nodes for things like that. Yeah. Hi, Mike. Happy Friday. Looking good. Thank you, Mr. Little. Thank you very much. Set items. Yeah. Why does part of lethal concentration, poison minion spear, work with falconry, but didn't get a rogue melee attack added for the jade dust part? Balance or oversight? It was like it's more of a. It's not really designed specifically for rogue to use. I don't think. Like it kind of works. It's like I would call it an off-class weapon. During the interview with Ghazi and DM, you did say there's a new skill for Lich in active development, so you could leak that again. Haha, you got me. Yeah, I guess there is. Well, there you go. Because yeah, there's missing. It's got just push. It's not budging. I recently saw a suggestion from someone to move these like into the tree itself, where you actually have to take points for them, and I really liked that idea. Like key nodes that have like the skill and like some bonus that goes with the skill. All right, more questions. What are you most excited about in the 1.3 cycle? So it'll be season 3. Which we're in season 1 right now, so you're talking about season 3. The new content, certain items, maybe balance tweaks or anything else. I mean, it's so far out that I can't talk about. I think you're probably asking about season 2, which will be patch 1.2. And in that one, personally, I mean, the updates we're doing to endgame is what I'm most excited about. It's gonna be great. Yeah, the new in-game content. I mean, like, really what it is, it's the new tech behind the new content that I'm most excited about, because it's, like, so many more possibilities. When a new game or expansion is released and one class is super broken and bugged, but people like the power, how would you balance player feedback versus overall game health? Yeah, I mean, that is, you've identified the hardest part about balancing a live game, and something that we've struggled with quite heavily, and something that is extremely hotly debated every single time it happens. Personally, I'm on the side of just nerf it. Like, if it was strictly up to me for me making my own game for myself and no one else mattered whatsoever, they'd be insta nerfed. It would just be like, nerf, deal with it. I don't care. But I'm not quite so impulsive and self-centered that I do know we're making this game for more than just me. And so we don't do that. Because you have to. You have to balance the investment people have made into those characters already, and there's a really bad, there's kind of two bad feelings working against each other, and trying to mitigate which bad feeling is the worst is really difficult to do and not have someone feel bad still in the end. And I think it comes down to. I don't know the best the right answer here at all, because it's something that we're still kind of experimenting with, I think, and I think it also depends a lot on the situation and how it happens. If the character is like fun to play, that's broken overpowered, I think it makes it a lot easier to leave it alone. So an example of a character that would not be fun to play, that's crazy broken overpowered, that we probably would do something about, is a character that had a really obnoxious and unfun play pattern. So like you spawn into an echo and you have to spend like 30 seconds casting a very specific sequence of abilities. Okay, well, let's do this properly. Oh, cough starting. And you have to do a very, so you spawn into an echo and you have to press a very specific sequence of abilities on cooldown, switch out your gear, press another specific sequences on cooldown, switch out your gear again, and then you press one more button and you just kill everything in the entire echo and you portal out. And like, it's the most powerful build in the possible game, and you know, like it beats every echo no problem. You can beat any boss you want. You just gotta like sit there for a couple minutes before every single run, and it's just boring. Like, that sounds awful. You don't want that in the game. So it's tricky. Let's just put this in. Have some fun. We know there's nothing else really in here. You could do this, but yeah. Oh, here's the weapon you were just talking about. Oh yeah, it does mention Falcon actually. My goodness, I was wrong. Oh my. I think it's because the +1 to throwing minion skills is the is the instead of harvest thing there. Because throwing minion skills isn't a thing on Necromancer really at all. Skeleton Roads throw poison? I don't think so. Poison v poison. We don't do much poison actually. We do a little bit. Eventually, but not today. If you could add any skill/skill tree without taking balance into consideration, what would you add? Whoa. Without taking balance into consideration? I mean, this is hard because like I've kind of had this freedom for a couple years. So like the skills that are I'm like, this has got to be in the game are kind of in the game. What do I want? What do I want that's not in the game yet? I want more bow skills on other classes. If I could add anything, I would add a bow. I would add a bow compatible skill in Beastmaster. And second choice may surprise you, it's Mage. Mostly just because I'm such a D2 fanboy. And like to play terrible builds. Any fun plans for Halloween? No. Well, I mean, yeah, I got a little one, so we're gonna take him out to go trick or treating with his with some friends, and not much else. Halloween's pretty scary for him still. We're like just barely. I think. Oh, we'll see what happens this year. But I think this year is gonna be the first year that he like really gets into it. We made the mistake of buying his Halloween costume way too early. It's like a full. He got crazy into Pokemon, and so he like saw a full bodysuit Pikachu outfit like early in like a month or two ago, even like when they first were showing up, and he's like, I have to have it. And now Halloween's getting close, and he's like, I want to be this, I want to be this. And we're like, you already have a costume. All right. Will there ever be any Twitch integration with the game? Asking for Aaron, since he was likely stuck in a subathon. I think he's here. Yes, it's one of those, like, it's on the list. We'd really like to. It's not something. I don't think it's something that's in active development right now, but I think there's some prep stuff being done. So yeah. Based on her costume, can we expect a ladybug skill in the game? Look at this B skill after your last costume. I don't. I'd love to. Ladybugs are really cool, actually. So if you don't know this about ladybugs, you can use them as like natural pesticides, basically. For plants. So there's like certain things that can like get into your garden, and if you like introduce ladybugs to your garden, it'll like get rid of those things. They're pretty cool. Ladybugs are like crazy poisonous or crazy toxic. I don't know what the term is, but yeah. There's cool stuff about ladybugs. I know almost none of it, and if you're interested in ladybugs at all, go do some research because they're pretty cool. Eep. I don't know why I ran out of that, really. I can't really die in this form. Chunk in here. Oh, capped it. Chunks our health pretty quick when we did that. Event cycle 1.2. Ah, yes. Sorry. I think I answered it anyways then. Do you guys in the office bet on which build item class is going to be the most popular before new release? No. I think sometimes there's like, if there's some disagreements on if something's going to be overpowered or not, someone will be like, I think it's going to be overpowered, and someone else will be like, I don't. And then we're like, we'll see what happens. It's about as intense as it gets. If you get the skeleton rogues to throw acid flask, it counts as a minion throwing skill. Interesting. Any plans on improving minion survivability, such as tweaking the damage they take from certain boss abilities? They already do have big defense to a lot of boss abilities. For example, in PoE, your minions won't get killed by Cyrus Meteor or Storms, but in LE, you get into Jorah or Aberoth, there's a bunch of stuff that kills your minions that you can't do anything about. Yeah, there's probably some situations that need adding to the list. We do already some stuff like that. Mike, what will you address as on the 31st, the Prime list? I mean, I'm like, I think I gotta wait till next year till I'm in shape to dress as the Prime list, you know? I'm getting there, I'm on my way. But the guns got some work to do on them still first. Are you serious? You're really gonna give me Prime Giants? Of course you are. Because you know how good I am at dealing with them. At least I should be, because I flip and die to them all the time. Alright. Is there any party-styled content in any way? On the way? No, we don't have any party-specific content on the way. One of the things we kind of try and do is we try to make sure that there is, like the content is possible and fun to do solo. That's sort of the like, if it's going in the game, it's kind of got to be good for solo. I'd really like to see us put some more things in the game for group play, and this is something that I've talked about in the past a lot. But things like this is kind of an example of something I wish only happened in multiplayer, but can happen solo. Is in Diablo 2. Surprise! There's my example. Diablo would create a bone prison around you and lock you in place, and then use his lightning hose and nuke you. It's a sweet mechanic if you've got someone else there to like break you out. Like it locks one person in place and targets a second person, and the third person's got time to break you out. It creates this cool dynamic, and coordinated teams who are like, oh, he locked me. He's like, oh, I'm coming to rescue you. He's on me. Like that type of coordination and gameplay I think is really fun and interesting and cool, but doesn't really work solo. So I'd love to see us start doing like extra mechanics in multiplayer that are like fun to play with. Are there any plans for more bee stuff? I feel like Bees Master is just sort of just short of being viable. Yeah, it is like it's just barely short of being viable. There's a couple things we came really close to adding like just before we discontinued making set items. We're gonna make a bee set item, and then we're like, all right, we're not making set items for a while. Yeah, I think there's room for more bee themed stuff. Maybe it's not specifically in items, maybe it's in other places, but yeah. I'll close my door. Getting a little chilly. So you're saying we're not getting a Ladybug Primalist? I mean, I'd love to see it as like a skill NTX for bees. Convert them all to ladybugs. That'd be sweet. All right. The other day I was after one lizard, and that lizard spammed another 4 to 5 lizards. Is that normal or is it a bug? It is normal. Maybe not expected or normal, but it is working as intended. Every time you defeat a lizard and it scurries away, it has a chance to cause a similar lizard to pop up in its place. And that can happen up to, I think, 5 times per disappearance. So yeah, I think 1 turning into 5 is possible, and those 5 could, I think, theoretically turn into 25. Like, it's a low odds thing to happen, so chaining more than a couple times is almost never going to happen. And when you get that many, some of them are going to get away. But it can go kind of nuts. You got a lizard named Mouse in a lizard suit? Yeah, that's one of my favorites. There was a Reddit post of people sharing names they'd found recently. There's some good ones. There's a pattern. If you find enough of them, you'll find a few patterns. Have you implemented all the player created uniques yet? No, I'm actually working on one right now. If you're the person waiting for me to get back to you with options on a unique that might go really well with this build that I'm playing right now, I'm playing this build specifically to get ideas for that unique right now. And if you're the other person waiting for me to come back with a prototype for a build, I've got a couple that I've got ready, but I want a few more before I bring it to you. I don't think either of them are watching, so it's not a big deal. But yes, we're still working on supporter uniques. They're tough. They're really tough to do. I find myself putting things that I want in them sometimes, and I have to stop and like really go back to look at what because we send out a questionnaire with like a few categories where it's like sort of like if you could have it do literally anything, like no restrictions, sort of like you make a broken thing, do whatever you want, like what would it be? And people put like horribly broken things in there, and you're like, yeah, cool, you get the idea of what you're after, and you try and like sculpt something from there. Like if it can only do one thing, like what's the most important thing? And there's like there's other like themes that you want to work in, and there's a whole bunch of questions that go with it. But I have to go back to those documents really frequently to like put myself in the person's shoes who's getting this made, because so often I'll look at it and be like, oh, this is totally what I would do here, but I'm not making it for me, I'm making it for them. So it's I find it a little tricky, but I do my best. Was close. Still in reforms, not that close, I guess, but still. Any plans for themed battle pass? Battle pass is one of those things that's it's kind of a weird topic. We don't have any plans for a battle pass. I think there's, and this came up last time we were getting close to a cycle. Sorry, a new season. I need to start using the proper term. We use season, now we don't use cycle. So last time we were getting close to a new season, we get a bunch of questions about battle passes and things like that. It's kind of just, I think, gonna happen every time now, and which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And I think there's a way to do battle passes really positively. And I know people who've been watching for a long time will be like, yeah, Mike, you always say that, but you never do it. Yeah, I don't know if there's enough room in the the collective gamer headspace. I don't know how to describe it for a positive reaction to a battle pass. And there are a couple out there that have done it. But yeah, I'd like to explore that at some point. It would be really tricky to do it well. And when I say well, I mean like so that it's a positive experience for the player. That's what I mean by do it well. That costume is fly as hell. Why, thank you very much. I appreciate it. These wings are a lot bigger than last time, so I didn't have to like cut them in half and like use a piece of cardboard to tape them together. Are you planning on doing any reworking or tweaking in the faction system in 1.2 based on what you've learned in 1.1? Yeah, I would say tweaking is a better term for it than reworking. It's really an interesting thing, and this is something that I've been kind of vaguely talking about with people on like forums and Discord and Reddit and things like that. And it's the difference. It's the distinction between end game systems that provide power directly. So an end game system that can provide power directly that's really straightforward that I can point to as an example is like Diablo 3 Paragon system, where it's just like every Paragon level you get a point of crit and then a point of move speed and then a point of damage and then a point of like, it's really straightforward. There's not a lot to it. It's just like you get a little bit more power every single time. And the difference between a system like the faction system, specifically like Circle of Fortune and the Bazaar, where you are as you level up in the system, as you rank up in the system farther, what you're actually getting out of it is more efficiency at finding player power. And I think the distinction between getting efficiency at finding player power and actual player power creates a different expectation on players on if they're going to complete the system or not, and how fast they're going to complete the system. And I don't know what the I don't know what the right thing to do is with that. If that makes any sense. Alright, how far along would you say you are at looking at things that you want to have in the game before you start doing purely seasonal content? I mean, there's that's a tough one, because I think there's the campaign's going to be a little while before it actually, like, before we're like, okay, the camp, like, here's the end of the actual campaign, the story is complete. That's still a ways out, so I think it's tricky to I think it's tricky to put a timeline on the whole thing, just because I think that's going to be the one, that the outlier that makes that go long, before it's purely into seasonal stuff. Yeah. And I mean, like, there's always gonna be stuff that, like, sticks around season to season. So it's like, what's purely seasonal, right? I don't know. I think we got a while still. Just wanted to make a PSA. I'll read it first before I announce it. Okay, I'll say this, but I'm going to say it with an asterisk. So, I've seen conflicting reports of the effect of cryo utilities, good or bad, with regards to playing Last Epoch on Steam Deck. So, I would probably try it out for yourself before doing it. But we do have, here's a report of someone saying that with SteamOS update, cryo utilities is no longer helpful, reverting to stock settings, and the stock 1 GB UMA buffer results in more stable performance. Also, the OS update reverts your undervolts. Cool. Well, thanks for the info. You know way more about it than I do, because I don't have a Steam Deck. And it's probably great advice. I would just also put a little, like, try it yourself at home. Try it at home. Reverting stuff to stock is very safe, so I'm not concerned about that. Increased crit chance. There we go. Speaking of crit. Ooh, got a little LP going on there. Maybe another one. Maybe. Let's find out. You're mine. You play LE, great, but does it count as working time? Where can I sign my employment contract? Yes, this does count as working time. We actually have 2 hours every Friday reserved for everyone on the team to play Last Epoch. Because we think we should play our game. And if it's in your, like, work time, then you do it. I mean, the vast majority of us, I think, play in our spare time anyways, or, like, we're playing before we started working on this anyways. And it's not like a hard mandatory thing, but, you know, we like to, it also is kind of like water cooler time, because we don't have a fixed physical location for the studio. Everyone's remote. So a little bit more time to just, like, hang out and have some fun and play games together is really, really good. But I miss it every week because it happens literally exactly the same time as my stream. So I get my 2 hours here. I spend it all with you, beautiful people. All right, I feel it needs something like it, but like you said, done in a proper way. I assume this is about the battle pass is probably what this is about. Try to get fancy with, like, a dodge and a reap, and reap's on cooldown because it's transplanted. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Is it possible that in the future there will be a unique that makes Warpath Echo follow the player? Having the move is something we tried to do originally, and it doesn't work so well. I know it sounds ridiculous. Favorite builds nobody plays, something stupid jank that's fun. I mean, I do really like off-spec builds where it's like, well, that shouldn't work. But lots of times they do work because so many of us on the team like them that we put little things in to make them work. Sometimes they work too well. See melee DA. I like meteor bear using the belt. I think that's my favorite one. I don't think anyone plays that really much anymore. Yeah, please don't forget to put at Last Epoch game in the question if you'd like me to answer it. I think I may have skipped a couple. Not intentionally. Ooh, lizard. Come here, lizard. Yes, you cannot escape me, lizard. I mean, don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. If we'd like seal this Ellie res. Nope, just gonna nuke the fortune potential on this. That hurt a lot. Negative 22. Oh, not worth. I think it might still be an upgrade though. Is there fizz res okay? Yeah, perfect. 75. Calculated. Do some classes get more skills in the future? As an example, I would like to make a marksman, but when I see that it has 4 skills less than the mage I have, I lose all interest because less skills equals less build variety, in my opinion. I don't think that less skills necessarily directly means less build variety. I think that you'll find there's certain skills that individually will carry a class in build variety, whereas some skills will have very little impact on build variety. But I mean, at a glance, I can see like the expectation being there. And classes that have fewer abilities are definitely significantly higher on the list for new abilities. We are planning new abilities for every class still. Mage is by far the farthest down that list because it has the most abilities of any class. And Rogue is at the top of that list because it has the fewest skills of any class, you know? We did decide a while ago that it wasn't mandatory for them all to have the same number. But also there's no mage skills in development right now, and there is there are other skills for other classes in development right now, so yeah. Whoa. Nada. Probably been asked before, but what is your favorite skill you've made? I've never made a skill like exclusively on my own. And I've been involved with almost every one of them. It's kind of just like, what's your favorite skill, Mike? But skills that I had like a heavy hand in, and my favorites, I'd probably say, these are all these like favorites questions are so tricky, and I bet my answers change week to week. I think I'd probably say something in Rogue somewhere. Oh no, it's gonna be it's weirdly gonna be Flame Rush, I think. This is one I worked on pretty recently that I really enjoyed.
Will not take me.
My ear just popped. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, I can hear again. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. Just getting over a cold. It happens. There's actually some stuff in Rogue. I really like Lethal Mirage. That was a fun one to work on. I really like Dive Bomb too. That was a really fun one to work on too. Good evening. Question in the inventory under the appearance tab at the very bottom, it says skills. Will we finally have access to it next season? And if so, can we get a hint of what it is or a clue? I can tell you what it is. I can't give you any details on ETA. It is something we're working on. So this equip skills, all skills, this is sort of like an indicator of sort of what's to come with regards to cosmetics. And so like it kind of says like skill cosmetics, there's no skill cosmetics available yet, check back soon. This is, we are adding in like cosmetic variants for abilities in the game. So like, trying to like say an example that's like, but do I say an example that is coming and say it's not coming, or do I say an example that's not coming and then people expect it is coming and then I have to like go make it? Oh, what do I do? So let's pick something ridiculous that 100% is not coming. So it turns meteor into a gigantic block of cheese, a wheel of cheese, for example. We're not doing this, and it like makes it look like cheese instead, you know. So something like that. You know, some of them are puns, some of them are, you know, there's also some of them are just like cool variants. Some of them are like elemental conversions for things that we can't actually do the elemental conversions for gameplay reasons, but sometimes you want a visual conversion that is that type. Yeah, it's like, it's a skill cosmetics. I don't really know what else there's to say about them. When can we get a cooler MTX? I want to give you more money, lol. Yeah, I mean, I think we have lots of really cool MTX that comes every patch personally, but yeah, we're cranking them out still. There's more coming. Is there an estimate on when 1.2 will launch? Q1 2025. So in the first quarter of 2025, there will be season 2 will start and patch 1.2 will drop. So January, February, March, somewhere in those 3 months. That's all I got for you though. Big window, I know. We'll try and get a smaller window as we get closer to it. Like we're always trying to get them out as soon as possible, and we have to we have to kind of take into consideration other titles in the same genre that are having large events and having large releases at the same time. So sometimes we're like, okay, we gotta wait to see when this happens. We know it's coming somewhere in there, we don't know when. Or maybe we need to be like, okay, we've got this feature that has to get in, and like it's like we're working on it already, and we don't know how long it's gonna take to actually finish it. And we're like, we can't release the patch without this, so We kind of gotta wait till we get a little closer to the date in order to like be able to more confidently say when it's going to be ready and have enough time to be tested and all that sort of stuff. We're doing content lock way earlier than we've ever done before, which is so wonderful. Which means we'll have way more time to test specific interactions. Yeah. Can you tell us how many new runes and glyphs we can expect in 1.2? Not many, if any. It's very rare that we add new runes and glyphs. And like new runes and new very specific, heavily thought out and planned runes and glyphs get pitched in design meetings all the time. Like I'll come with like a list of like 40 runes and glyphs that I'm like, I know one of these is gonna get in for sure. We'll like debate them for an hour and none of them will get approved. Sucks. But they all get denied for very good reasons that I've just missed. Because it is a delicate system. Just got my first red ring. Woo, congrats. Way to go. Awesome. Okay, let's get this shrine real quick to start this. Please be something cool. It's something cool. That's what I like to see. Yeah. Dash the wrong way there. Didn't forget that Reaper form starts with a reap. I swear. You rhyme, giant. Alright, can you make Black Hole a damage skill, please? Black Hole. Black Hole is a tragedy of a skill right now. I wish, and like in the weirdest way possible, I wish we had not made Black Hole when we did. I love Black Hole as a skill, and I'm so excited for the future of it. But I wish we had been able to see really, really far into the future and known it was a bad idea to make when we did. Because it has some serious problems with some underlying systems and how things function in the game. And there's a few other things that need to happen for it to really be properly realized. So we have some very long-term plans for Black Hole, and I hope they pan out properly. But it's not ready yet. It's gonna have to just kind of sit there as this weird redheaded stepchild of a terrible term. From like it's gonna just have to wait, unfortunately. All right. Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I said that. It was dumb. All right, moving on. Would you add a setting to make characters not keep saying their catchphrases, or at least reduce their frequency? It can be annoying. I believe we have that, don't we? Mute. Oh, it's just the error voice lines, not the catchphrases. Yeah, I know we're talking about adding some more settings there right now, so yeah. I know it's a joke, but would eagerly pay money or cheese media for cheese media. Lol, yeah. I knew what I was saying. Alright, more passives. Because Mike's a bit of an idiot sometimes, and he doesn't remember things. More in here? Yeah, seems pretty sweet. Is this better? This is better. Give me that flat damage. Crit multi? Ooh, that'd be good to take 2 right now. I find it so funny when we have icons that are upside down. And sometimes like the actual transform in game is just flipped for that icon. And like sometimes you'll like replace it and then the new one that replaces it, because you replace the sprite but the transform doesn't change, it like flips it as well. It's weird. I probably should be putting points here and here. That's a lot of damage. Seeing a lot of damage actually right there. It's just these 3. Will there ever be a chef class in LE? I don't want to say flat no to things like that, because I mean, Final Fantasy IX is one of my favorite games. And I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm sorry. Kina. It's one of those 2, I think. It might be something else. The Blue Mage in Final Fantasy IX was my favorite character to play. And he's basically just a chef. Like his special ability is like cook and eat. Like those are his special abilities. And so I'd love to do something like that. I don't know if it fits super duper great. I think it feels to me like there's a handful of things that would be just like auto includes first. Put the precedence there. And then we could have the cheesier, cheesier. There's a pun name in there somewhere. Berry tier, brie tier. Oh, brie tier, you got it. Yeah. Well done. Took me a minute to get there. I don't actually eat cheese, so took me a minute to recognize brie as a word. Will there be a gun class planned out? It's unlikely to see a gun class anytime soon at all. It's not completely off the table, but it's a very distant chance right now. It's one of those things that there's just so many options. Did that way too early. There's a lot of things that fit much more cleanly. Like there's room for, I think, a lot of classes to have a bow, for example. There's, I think, less room for as many classes to have a smooth like transition to having a gun as thematically appropriate. This one takes forever to drop items. There's just nothing good there. Yeah. Are ladybugs coming to the game? I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's any specific plans for them. This is because I couldn't find a bee costume in 1 hour. And I like red. And I like ladybugs too. Pretty cool. Any updates on the merch store? None yet. Do desperately want one though. I've been wearing my hat lately, actually. It's been cool. My head got smaller. I swear my head shrunk. And like when I lost a bunch of weight, my head shrunk, and hats fit me better now. All of a sudden. I hated hats growing up. All right. Oh, I spent 4 days ripping up my driveway and the side of my house, putting in a section of new drain tiles or PVC pipes to replace the drain tiles that were there. And like my whole torso is just kind of seizing right now. Ooh. Okay. I'm a soft boy. I'm not used to digging for 4 days. Shovels are hard work. Alright, Mike, will the Epoch itself ever become a usable in-game option like a cheat death mechanic? Kind of like, I know we've talked about things tying into similar mechanics to like, if you ever played Prince of Persia, like Sands of Time, the like, I played it on GameCube, I think, originally, or even like original Xbox PS2 era. It might be one gen off there. But that game had a really awesome time reversal mechanic that was like you could turn back time a little bit, and it would you only do it like so many times. It would like reverse the simulation fully. We don't have a fully deterministic simulation that's like reversible with like a log system and everything. So it would take a lot to adapt it to work the same way, and which is why we kind of scrapped it. But things like that are pretty cool. I don't know. I'd love to see something like that. You guys are trying real hard to burn me, but don't you know I'm fireproof? Can't burn this. Probably can. I don't know. Hello. What about cosmetic rewards? The top 50 arena players and first 3 of them even greater ones. It would motivate players to play LE even more and longer. Yeah, I'd love the idea of doing this. We've talked about some things relating to this. I think there's a lot of room for a system here. I'd really like to see the system be like a point-based system, kind of like a special coin, like a platinum instead of like a thing, but except it's the opposite of what platinum usually is in mobile games, where it's only earnable in game and you can't pay for it, and have it unlock different cosmetics. I think that's the style I'd like to see. Where if you're someone who's like, I've come 10th every single season since it started, and you're like, and I've slowly earned enough to get the biggest things. Because I think that achievement's kind of similar to being like, I came second this one time, and having or I came first this one time. A single top tier achievement is kind of similar to a string of very good achievements, I think. And I'd like to find a way to represent that as well. What is your view on destructive elements in the environment that can affect both the player and the enemy? For example, explosive barrels. Love them. Absolutely love them. I think the enemy should be too dumb to interact with them in any way. I think it gives players a new way to interact with the environment and strategize with their surroundings that changes, so that if you're fighting a pack of skeletons with a barrel and a pack of skeletons without a barrel, you can change your strategy on the fly to be more efficient. I love things like that. Big 2 thumbs up for me. I think there's possibly there's certain situations where it can be a little too extreme, and having it be like oh, you shouldn't have run into these barrels and you popped one of them, and like okay, here's an example. Here's something I don't like about Diablo 2. The very rare instances of things that I don't like about Diablo 2, because it almost never comes up because I love that game. the barrels, the normal barrels in Diablo 2 that are like just this wooden barrel that you're like, oh, it could be nothing, and you break it, and most of the time it's just like some gold drops out, or literally nothing happens. But every once in a while it's an explosion, it hurts you for a bunch, and then you get like 6 barrels together, and like your buddy pops one of them, and it causes a chain reaction of they're all explosive barrels, and they all blow up and just kill you. When you don't have a clear indication, like if the barrel's going to explode, it better be red. And if that barrel's brown, it better never explode. You know, like I think the having that information clear to the player is pretty important. I'm here to tattle on Mox Jet 200, who is the game director, if anyone doesn't know. He teased us on asking in game chat if we wanted a dragon class. Curious if it's a possibility. I took a screenshot as proof. I mean, I think Judd likes to, probe for, to get feedback on ideas he wants to pitch sometimes. I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't heard about us developing a dragon class or anything like that. So I think he was probably, trying to gauge if it was something that he could pitch, because Judd pitches things the same as everyone else does in our design meetings. So I wouldn't read too much into it from a oh, he said it so it's coming type standpoint, but you never know. I mean, things Judd wants frequently make it pretty far in the development process. I would not be surprised if it comes up as a topic in a design meeting very soon. But I have no information about it right now. All right. Have the final chapters of the campaign. It would be kind of weird. Sorry, it would be kind of weird having I'm just thinking about a dragon class. So all the models, all the equipment models wouldn't work. I don't know if that's even possible. It probably is though. I mean, we probably just have to make some sort of compromise and just not have the models work at all. We're trying to figure out if we can even do this now. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a really cool idea. If it's a class though? Yeah, I don't see why everyone has to be the same race. Now is it I guess, was he talking Shyvana, a character that temporarily transforms into a dragon, or more a D&D dragonkin, someone who's half dragon lineage, or just a straight up dragon? Now you got me thinking about it. I'm curious now. Okay, if anyone wants to share with me what they would want the most, would you think of those 3 options? So Shyvana, so you're a human that can turn, that has dragon themed abilities that can. One of them is to temporarily transform into a dragon, kind of lich-esque, or if you are just a human with dragon themed abilities. So like a dragon punch, and it's like a VFX dragon comes out as dragon punch or something like that. Or if you're just a full-on dragon all the time, I guess basically Shyvana, permanently in human form, hybrid, or permanently in dragon form. Which would you like? I was also gonna be I was considering using this random sidetrack, this bee outfit that I've also found. I tried to strap it to my shoulder like a pauldron. I'm like a polindron. That doesn't quite work. And it was cutting off circulation in my arm because the straps are just too small. So apparently my shoulder is bigger than a small dog's neck. Alright. Have the final chapters of the campaign been written, and are they waiting to be implemented yet? Or are they just yet to be written? The remaining chapters are in various stages of being written. So the next chapter is like fully scripted, I think. There's probably like, scripts. I'd say there's probably touch-ups on the script that need to be done in certain situations, but it's like the script is very far along. The
That is too
like
much.
the chapters after that are still like they're probably highlight. I know that at least the high level points are all written, but like individual dialogue isn't written type thing. Like so it's a gradual process and there's lots of stages that it goes through. The overarching story beats and like who's gonna do what to who and who's gonna die and who's gonna survive and things like that. That's all pretty strictly planned out and has been for a little while. Because like it affects dialogue throughout the game. There's hints to things, there's callbacks from things, like there's lots of stuff you have to know beforehand before writing. I love this little mute button on my microphone. Hello, I'm back. Hopefully it doesn't make too big of like a pop sound when I hit it. What has been especially challenging in creating the new in-game content for 1.2? Can you tell if/how it will be different from Monolith? I can't really tell you much yet. There's I think experienced players will be more surprised moment-to-moment gameplay than they are now, and there's more player agency in exactly what you're doing. Which I know those two statements kind of conflict with each other. But yeah. And the first one's a lot harder to do. That's the hard part. Hey Mike, does the Aberoth helmet apply endurance to mana if you are over the cap? For example, if you have 120% endurance and 50% roll helmet, will I have 60% endurance on mana? Ugh. I would have to go look that up. I'm going to say probably not. Let's try and take a quick look. Yeah, I think it will. I think it would apply the percentage that it's taking pre-cap. Oof. I'm sorry. I'm gonna retract that back to I don't know. And if you'd like me to look it up, ask me and ask the devs in like an hour, and I'll look it up for you. Sorry. I think it should work though. I just don't know when the cap is being applied. But I think the cap would be applied at the practical time that it's being used, not in the stat time, because we don't like to affect stats before they're being. We don't like to affect the cap. We don't like to enforce the cap of a stat before it's being used, unless the thing that's scaling off of it needs to scale from the cap version specifically. And I don't see a good reason to scale it off the cap version specifically. Yeah, I have to look that up, sorry. Ooh, come on. You got a few stuns in there. Acolyte's profane crown of the turtle.
Worthless anyway.
Won't even fit in my inventory anyways. But I want my turtle helmet. Turtle. And everyone who grew up in the 90s got that reference. Alright, Dragon class sounds really good. I was thinking about some shooting class with turrets, bombs, etc. Okay, no, I was thinking very melee. When using Phoenix Strike, it reminds me of playing Pojo from Gauntlet Dark Legacy. It's been a long time since I've played that. My goodness. That was the Gauntlet Dark Legacy was the one that came out like GameCube, Xbox, PlayStation 2 era, I think. And like this was back when you had to like rent. Like you didn't have enough allowance saved up to buy the new game, so you go down to the local. It was Rogers Video. It wasn't Blockbuster. It was Rogers Video. I know it's a known bug, but it gets me every time. And we rented it because it was like a new release. We had to like rent it and then like re-rent it, like where you like return it, rent it again, and hope no one's waiting for it. And then we realized that we could like reserve it ourselves. So like there'd be like 3 of us that we'd like chain reserve it. So we were trying to beat it. And then the guy behind the counter figured it out and like, let someone else do it. And they like forced us to leave it. And like went back the next day. It was just sitting there. No one else had rented it. I don't remember this so clearly. And we're like, come on, just let us rent it. No one else wants it. Such a good game. I just got a Wavebird controller for my GameCube. Love that thing. It's like one of the first wireless controllers for consoles. But it was like clearly worse. What are we doing? I'm an idiot. Come on. Thank you. More questions. So this was a question I just got horribly sidetracked in the lead up. Are there any inspiration from classic ARPGs, hack and slash games when it comes to redefining the shrines? When it came to redefining the shrines specifically, probably not. Maybe, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of influence that comes from old school games. And oh, the Phoenix Shrine. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah. I didn't even make that connection. Yes. I don't know if that was an intentional reference or not, but there's a very strong connection there. I'd say there's like a 50-50 shot that was intentional. I don't know though. Nowhere to run. Oh my god. Oh my god. What? They're everywhere. What do I do? Okay, don't let them escape. Just keep. Okay, more. What? Ah!
That is too much.
Should have emptied the inventory. Would have sent a poet.
anyway.
Good golly, Miss Molly. That's a lot of stuff. Is any of it even remotely useful? Not really. Still fun. Still cool. I'll take it. All right, more questions. Aaron, Dragon Class confirmed, going to video tomorrow. See, I know you're joking, but I also know you're probably gonna put in the video tomorrow, so helmet? Helmet. Helmet. It's the staff. Oh, wrong staff. Dragon Knight Mastery, Dragonborn, Dragon Transforms. Yeah, do a full class. And that's the other thing, like, is it a full class with 3 masteries? That was close. All right, here's a follow-up to what he said next. It'd have to be Dragon Mancer, so you could if EGI equip, I think, gear normally without it being weird, but can transform. The exact problem that I was like humming and hawing over after I was thinking about it for 2 seconds. It's almost like the two of us hang out in similar design meetings pretty frequently and come up against the same problems over and over again. It's funny. Yeep. It's okay. We're pretty resilient to necrotic damage. Why I'm not actually attacking this thing? Nobody knows. Why not make that the 3 masteries? I mean, yeah. Since you asked if First Dragon's class isn't a Dragoon class with spears and jumps, I'm a riot. I mean, we kind of already did the a little bit of spear stuff with Paladin. Is Dragoon the 4th Paladin mastery, maybe? These guys are wandering. I don't appreciate their presumptiveness that they can simply just walk away from me. How dare they abandon their destiny of dying to me. Right, like Legend of Lagoon from PS1 days. Yes. When even he brings it up in a meeting, when eventually he brings it up in a meeting, you can then tell him, my chat told me a while back about this. Yeah, I can. That happens a fair bit. This is also your chance to catch me up on everything that's been happening in the community this week. What did I miss? I mean, I paid pretty close attention, but not everything. Yeah, Legend of Dragoon from PS1. Oops, typo. Yeah, I thought you were making like a Lagon Last Epoch Lagoon joke, but I knew what you meant. It seemed intentional. All right, is there any plans for an Atlas tree of sorts like PoE? Yeah, so I think there's I think it'd be a really cool thing to add. There's it's tricky to add something like that. How is this? PoE has so many awesome mechanics that even if you like pretend PoE doesn't exist, or you get designers in a room that have never played PoE and you try and like design new mechanics for an RPG, half the time you're like, you can find a league in PoE that it matches, or it like comes real close to matching, or you're like, that's kind of a reskin version of this, isn't it? And you're like, nah, crap, it is. And that's such an intrinsic system to them. It's hard to do it with our own twist. I think if we can implement something like that where it feels more Last Epoch specific, it would be really positive thing. But it would have to like be designed pretty ground up specifically for Last Epoch and Last Epoch's mechanics, and fitting in with Last Epoch systems and themings and other stuff, you know. But that is one of my favorite systems in PoE, so I'd love to. I'm gonna check it. Where are we putting these points? I don't want to get it wrong. Here? Yes, the thing I've been lamenting this entire time. Having them share a cooldown, and it was available the whole time. We did this. We're doing this. Right, this is just like spams it, but it's much less damage. Yeah, it's still good though, I think. We're going this way too. Yeah, let's do that first. Stepstone node, that's fine. Go away, cold. You're not wanted here anymore. You're never wanted, but... Hey, kill threshold! I'm just copying a build, so I'm just seeing what they give me. Armor shred? Oh yeah, bone armor chance on kill. Gotta have that. It's a beauty 1-pointer. All right, let's dump our gear. Definitely shatterbait. Can we do any little upgrades? How much over cold res are we? We're cold res without it's even equipped. Let's chaos this. Health regen per second. Bum, 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 bum. Not KSing that or that. Yeah. Give me that health. I think we want endurance. Fizz res. I don't think we really want fizz res. Void res. I don't think we really want void res. Not going fantastic here. I mean, like, could be a lot worse. We're still overcapped on all our resistances. Gained a little bit of damage. Increased melee damage, yeah, we'll take that. All attributes. Can we try and seal this? Okay. We do have some stuff that stacks on poison. What's our suffix pool looking like? Let's do armor shred. No, not that. I mean, okay, that was a bump to the weapon. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Check for questions while I was gone. Anything big? What about a soldier class, the master transformer? You jump into a robot like in Avatar movie. Mastery gunner, you have some gun arsenal. Mastery marine soldier, get little from both other mastery. Yeah, I mean, there's it's a little heavy on the future tech. I mean, I'd rather change A-bomb into a mech, like a meat mech suit, you know? Gigantic highlighted post. You can just put at Last Epoch game and I'll answer it. I really wish one of these ARPGs would come out with something like this. It's all in full caps, so this is me yelling. Say you're a barbarian and you cast Devil's Dust or whatever, and you're in a party with a Sork, and the Sork casts Chain Lightning, and the Devil's Dust picks up the Chain Lightning, and now the Dust Devils electrify. I think stuff like that's the future of ARPGs. Yeah, we've tried to do almost exactly that. It was Tornado. The first version of that we tried was Primalist Tornado and Mage Fireball to make a Fire Tornado, and that's why there is a Fire Tornado node in Tornado. It came from this, us trying to do it and us failing to make it work properly. The hard part about it, there's two really tough things, and we've actually fixed one of them recently because skills can now interact with other skills. When we had the Jace acceleration gate that we added to Frostwall, so we actually can have abilities interact with each other now. That was the first time we did that properly. It's that if you interact with other people's abilities, so say I'm a physical druid casting Tornado, and I'm pumped for fizz damage, and then this mage comes along and casts Fireball at my Tornado, and the Fireball turns it into a Fire Tornado. It's kind of like both players have to be specialized into it and planned ahead that it's okay, because you can have some sort of like semi-griefing happen where the mage nerfs the druid's damage because it's casting Fireball just normally, not even intentionally, into the same mobs that the Tornado's there, and by turning into a Fire Tornado, the damage tanks because it's no longer doing the right damage type or something like that. Like there's a lot of weird interaction issues there that I hope we can fix, because I think that's a really cool mechanic. It's something we've been like kind of half working on for years now. Homework for next week, bring your controller game. Yeah, I'm working on it, sorry. Why does your game feel lifeless? I mean, ouch. I would disagree. I don't know. Any chance for creature collector minigame? Maybe. We don't have anything planned right now. Is the A revealed for today? I don't have any teasers today. I'm sorry. I asked 1 minute before I went live for them, and no one had one prepped for me, so I don't have one. Sorry. I should have asked much earlier. That's my bad. Exactly what I wanted to hear, to be honest. You're sweet. Don't know which one that was for. Sorry. Hey, they don't share a cooldown. Look at that. The main thing I'd want in Ellie's version of PoE. The main thing I'd want is LE version of PoE's Atlas tree. Okay. I may have said something wrong or missed something. I don't know. Does every area have a nemesis? No, every area does not have a nemesis. You'll see nemesis spawn more frequently in higher corruption and higher level zones. They were bothering me. Yeah, you'll see more of them in higher corruption areas and higher level areas. One. And if you get kind of semi near one of them, it'll send you a chat message being like, "There's one nearby." The rewards are just too impactful to have in every zone. Yeah. Stand right in the damaging part of this. Cool. War wand. Highest roll. Temple Sanctum key, woohoo! Mike, will you put in a 100-pound bag of ice as a cold conversion shield for Aaron? You would really like that for Halloween. 100 bag of ice as a cold conversion shield, like just a gigantic bag of ice as the shield that does a conversion for something else, or like a cosmetic. It's funny. I'm not sure. Dang, you look amazing. Why, thank you. Did you have a spoiler this week already? Or did it already go up? I don't have one this week. I'm sorry. Do you have any of the art teasers from the previous weeks that you could throw up for a min, please? I mean, I have the one from last week. Here's the one from last week. It's not new. And then I have like some really old ones. Yeah, like I got that, but that's an item that's in the game already. I just one-shot that boss. My one-shot boss dance. All right. Any plans to expand item tooltip features like adding more information like loot filter tags to the item tooltip? Loot filter tag. Ooh, probably not. Maybe though, like to say like which filter it's being triggered by. The ground tooltips have that already, so maybe. It would be awesome if a shrine could have an icon indicating its buff. Thoughts on implementing this? There was some reason we couldn't do this. There was some reason why this wasn't put in. I don't remember what it was, but I do think it would be nice to be able to tell what the shrine is before you walk up to it. I think the best way to do it for us would be like shrine with a shrine logo with like a colored star or something that indicates like if it's an ability shrine or something, maybe, because there's enough of them now that having a unique icon for each one of them might be a little bit overwhelming. I'll go the other side. By LE version of PoE's Atlas tree, I mean being able to focus on one specific mechanic. Let's say I wanted to farm exiled mages, I can make them spawn more often or make them spawn more items. I see what you mean, yeah. It's kind of, yeah. Do you have like and tier list or stats which builds that is working good? And we all know nerfs to build doesn't feel good. Do you have plans for 1.2 to bring other build up in power levels to even out the powers level? Sorry for bad English grammar. It's okay. I will try and figure out what it says. I think the answer is basically no. But we do have, like, we don't have a tier list of power levels for things that we go off of that we specifically balance from or anything like that. But we do have, like, every major patch comes with major balance changes. So we will be making major balance changes to the game when season 2 starts and patch 1.2 drops. Yeah. It's so nice to be able to say season 1. Or season 2 and patch 1.2 and have them line up. Also, it'd be cool if you could have an item to change Echo Reward into something else. Yes, that would be cool. I did 100 pounds of ice bath for a subathon. It was terrible. Oh, I missed that. Oh, I found the shield. I was looking for this last cycle, last season. I gotta make that paladin again. No, paladin's next season. All right. I've sat in a few ice baths there, and they are terrible. Terrible. We're doing this one. I'm gonna get 1 point in all the things that I'm putting stuff in, so I can just be like, just fill the ones I've got points in. This might be scrapped, but here goes. Since you talked about this earlier, Rune of the Void. 25% chance of an exalted affix to not be slammed on a unique. What? For example, you have a 3 LP item and exalt you don't want physical pens, so does having a 3 LP feel more rewarding and less punishing when you brick a 3 LP? I understand. That was really close to dying there. I was not in ledge form. I understand what you're suggesting here. And I think the feedback you're trying to communicate, and I could be totally wrong with it, but here's what I'm hearing from you is when you have saved up enough for a 3 LP version of the item you want to make, and it's right at the top end of what you can afford, or it's extremely rare in your COF, and you've found something you've been looking for a long time, and you've got a very expensive exalted item with a lot of stats you want, and there's that 3 LP, but the most important, there's a huge power differential between the one primary stat you're looking for and the other 3 stats, to the point where having a 1 LP version of the item with the 1 stat you want is actually a better item than a 3 LP version of the item with 3 stats you don't want on it. Like your 2nd through 4th pick for stats is worse than just the first pick for stats, because the build relies on stacking 1 stat so high. And having a 3 LP item in that situation, while it does triple the odds of getting that, having that 1 in 4 chance to fail, having that fail feels really bad, and 25% is high enough that it happens often enough that confirmation bias seeps in, and it feels like it's happening way more than 25%. And because it happens so infrequently, there can be high variances. Like, because the opportunity arises so infrequently, there can be a high variance, and there's no large number of attempts for it to balance out over on. So you could have 2-3 failures in a row and it not actually be that bad of like that unheard of luck. And when you look at that situation, step back and look at it, it feels really bad as a whole. Each individual one feels bad, and the whole situation as a whole feels bad. And so you're looking for a way to make interacting with 3LP items have less of a be able to invest more currency up front into a 3LP item to increase your odds of getting at least the one outcome you want out of that. Maybe not the entire perfect outcome, but at least not the fail state outcome. That's generally the feedback I've been interpreting from the community recently on the topic. And please tell me if I'm way off. Start spamming me and be like, Mike, you're an idiot. That's not what we meant at all. But I think there's so I think the suggestion you bring up is a valid suggestion, but I think there's better ways to fix the problem I just described, which I think is the problem you're talking about. Not that we've talked about this internally at all at extreme length or anything. Did you fix the search on Merchant's Guild? We've added some stuff to it. There's more stuff we're adding still. I lost all my life savings in the gold dupe of 2024. I'm now sleeping on Aaron's couch, but he won't stop sunbathing. Any advice? Oh, subathoning, not sunbathing. Oh my god. Oh, Mike. I mean, I bet Aaron has a comfy couch. I feel like that's an active household in the morning. Probably get woken up real early. And I'm gonna pretend it was sunbathing. So you just gotta like put on some soothing music so he falls asleep and gets like so burnt that he has to stop sunbathing. It's actually, sunburns are dangerous. Don't intentionally give people sunburns. They're bad. All right. We're over time. What's going on? Y'all know we've hit time, and you stopped spamming me with questions, and I've caught up, and you're just a wonderful chat. That's all this is. It's just wonderful. So I'm gonna finish up a couple questions here. Is there any updates coming to Warlock? Not that there's anything wrong with the class. I just love it so much. I mean, yeah. We're probably looking a little more abroad from Warlock at primary targets for new toys, but because Lich is probably on that list, it'll get some like at least incidental stuff probably just by the nature of being in the same base class. And you know, there's stuff that gets added universally every patch and every major update. So yeah, there's stuff coming for everything. But I'd say it's probably a Warlock probably on, if we were gonna like rank what every mastery is gonna get in 1.2, Warlock would probably be on the lower half of that split, but I don't know where exactly. Do you have any favorite ideas that you were very excited about but got scrapped during development? Weapon swap. No weapon swap. I want two weapons. I want to be able to switch between my weapon equips. And the answer I always give, what's the answer I always have? That'll about do it for me today. I hope you had fun. I know I did. This was a wonderful stream. Hope you liked my costume. Have fun on Halloween. Stay safe. Drink lots of water. Until next time, hope you have a great time. Let's see who's doing what. See if we can go say hi to someone. Let's. Oh, someone's got a stream named Chill Friday. I love Chill Friday. yeah, have a great day, everyone. It's a good stream. I had fun. Kind of always do that, so what's new, right? See ya.